Hey fellas, how you doing? It's Johnny, or whoever's watching. I want to share something with you that I've learned. I learnt this over the course of 10 years, maybe more longer, but let's just say 10 years. And I learnt this with people, so I'm going to share with you what I learnt about people from my own experience. And of course, if you followed me for a long time, you guys or you girls, you would have known that for many years of my life I battled with social anxiety. Social anxiety is social phobia. That is the fear of being judged by people, and that is, being anxious around people. My self-esteem was really low for many years. It was really low, and that came at the consequences of some childhood experiences that I'd undergone. I've gone into that in other videos, so I won't go into this video. And of course, being a man, one of my prime objectives were to get good with women. I had this fascination, I was fixated on getting good with women. And it's kind of weird because on many levels I didn't really know why I wanted to get good with women. I didn't really know where this need came from. Now of course the desire to have sex with a woman and to reproduce, that is human, that is biological, that is, and to want to find love, that's normal. And that's healthy. But my insecurities, my lack of self-trust, my low self-esteem, my upbringing, my perception of my own identity, which was based upon how people reacted towards me, my family, my friends, how I felt about myself, how I treated other people as a result of how I felt about myself. This taught me a lot about people, and this taught me a lot about myself. So I wanted to share this because I work with lots of people, and I have lots of people get in touch with me and they inquire about teaching, or they send me messages. People write on my YouTube videos. I don't know how many people I've taught over the 5 years. It's been a lot of men. I've also started to work with women. And the main question that everyone is asking is, how do I find happiness in my life? That is the most important question, whether you're a man or a woman. And this question is attached to things like, how do I grow my business? How do I make more money? How do I attract positive people? How do I stop attracting negative people? How do I stop attracting people that are jealous of me? All these questions come back to the same thing. I was very ignorant of this for many years. I'm not even going to say that I didn't know it, because I did know it. I'm going to go really deep for a second. I believe that we know everything, whether you're a man or a woman. Human beings are not stupid, thank God for that. We're not stupid, we know everything, but usually we don't practice it. So many men say, Johnny, I don't understand it. I'm an outgoing guy, I'm caring, I'm loving, I'm honest, but I'm struggling to meet a good woman. And you can hear it. Listen to what I said again now. Listen to carefully what people say, because usually when we talk about our struggles, we answer our own question. They say, Johnny, I'm a caring, outgoing, honest person, but I'm struggling to meet a woman. It's like, no, you're not. It's not true. It's not true, or otherwise you wouldn't be struggling to meet a good woman. That is probably your true self. That's definitely your true self, but you're not practicing that. So when I say we attract what we are, be careful what you become, what we practice on a daily basis is who we choose to be. We'll get that back. This is a fact. And this gets said in all these kind of fancy terms, and all these terms are true. All these terms are true. What you put out, you get back. Your perception creates your reality, your thoughts manifest into the universe. All these things are true, but I think sometimes, even when people know this, they don't practice it. And the reason people don't practice it is because people are afraid. No one chooses to have negative people in their life. No one wants to feel low self-esteem. No one wants to struggle. I didn't want to struggle. For many years I couldn't understand it. For many years I used to say, I fucking can't trust my friends. I can't trust any of my friends fully. They're all jealous of me. They're aggressive, or they're a bad person, or they're judgmental. And I can't trust women as well. That was unconsciously why I went out and had sex with lots of different women and cheated on all women. And I started to wonder one day, I can't trust women. I don't even trust my girlfriend. I'm worried when she goes out, she goes to work, she's going to be cheating on me. she's probably going to cheat on me with the boss, or she's going to find some guy who's rich or bigger than me, better looking than me, better in bed than me. She's going to cheat me. Because my whole life people have cheated me, or the majority of my life. And I had paranoia. I was always paranoid. I was always worried. I was scared at that time to take my girlfriend out because I thought I'd get into a fight. Someone's going to try and chat her up, or she might betray me. She might flirt with someone, and that might trigger me off, because I was a very insecure man at that time. And I was going out doing lots of picking up women, and part of me was enjoying it, but of course there was a massive part of me going, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right, the fact that I'm purposely only approaching women because I want sex from them to feel better about myself. That's not a comfortable truth to admit, but that was the truth at that time. And I was asking the same questions that I'm getting now from men. Why is it that the women I attract, they're nice, but they're really aggressive and I don't trust them? Because I was getting back what I was at that time. I was moaning that I can't really trust people because they're jealous, but I was a very jealous person. I was jealous despite the fact of having loads of women around me. That's the reason why I needed so many women around me, because I was a jealous man. That's the reason why I needed so much validation from other men, because I was lacking in self-esteem. I'd convinced myself that I was a confident man, but I wasn't a confident man. If I was so confident, I wouldn't have been such a people pleaser. I also wouldn't have been so aggressive. I wouldn't have treated people badly. I was only treating people that I thought would give me stuff back nicely, and then wondering why my day is so depressing, despite having money, despite having popularity. I was not being true to myself. I was wondering why, how comes I can't fully trust my dad? How comes my relationship with my mum, and it's very upsetting to feel this and admit it at that time, a couple of years ago, why don't we have a proper relationship where I can be vulnerable with my mum, or I can just tell my mum I love her? I didn't feel comfortable about telling my mum I loved her, because I didn't feel worthy to tell anyone that I really loved them. I found it difficult in relationships to tell women I loved them. That's why I had such horrible behaviour. And this all come at a cost of male insecurity, trying to impress other men, and bullying other men sometimes as well. And then bullying women in my relationships, and wondering why the woman wasn't being loyal to me. Why isn't this woman supporting me in my business? Why does she keep, I can sense it, she's jealous and she's not giving me the support I need. Because I was putting these behaviours out to most people. Of course, occasionally when I would be better behaved and my true self, everyone would be nice back to me. But I couldn't maintain the consistency of staying as that person and behaving like that. And I knew all this stuff. I taught this stuff. A few years ago, I taught men how to attract women. But keeping a woman is a different thing. And then I started to get confused, because I went, hold on a second, my whole life I struggled with getting better with women. I couldn't get laid, I couldn't make any money, I didn't think my friends respected me, I didn't think men respected me, I didn't think anyone respected me. I didn't realise in trying to achieve all these things, I lost my soul at that time. I had no integrity. I thought I was tough because I was bullying people and I was having sex with lots of women, but I was deeply, deeply unhappy. And of course I kept this going because there's a big part of society that encourages that. But that was an excuse as well, blaming society. That was a way of me taking the responsibility off myself. Then I remember sitting at home one day feeling sorry for myself, saying, I don't really have any real friends, other than at the time my students that I teach. I remember sitting at home thinking, how comes I can't trust anyone? But of course it makes sense. I didn't trust myself. I was not treating people the way I wanted them to treat me back. It's a common law, it makes sense. But I didn't have the self-esteem to believe that would work, because part of me didn't want to believe it would work, because I was afraid to change, or not even to change, to be my true self. Because I thought, if I'm my true self, woman's not going to love me, people won't like me, because they'll probably try and take advantage of me. They'll probably think I'm too soft, they'll probably think I'm too spiritual. They're probably going to just think they can walk all over me, but of course that wasn't the case. Those things happened when I wasn't nice to people. People did take advantage of me. They did walk all over me. Just because I could beat someone up and hit them, that didn't make it right. That made me more insecure. And of course, there would always be someone who is more physically stronger than me and would do that to me. A saying comes to mind, I thought about it today: there's no honour amongst thieves. I was a thief. Of course I was a thief. When you're behaving like that, you're behaving like a thief, you're getting it back. And I was a cheater. And I used to say to my friend, I can't stand it when women that cheat, they make me sick. I was talking about myself, because I was cheating on women. So what I hated and despised, that was in myself. And then I remember saying to another friend, I really hate bullies. I hate when men go around bullying other men. It makes me sick, because my dad used to bully me, but I was a bully. I was bullying other men in various ways. I weren't going up hitting them like I did years ago, because I got bullied, but I was doing it on a social level. And people are not stupid. I was being bullyish in my behaviour, intimidation, all this stuff. And I started to listen to other men. Of course, the blind leading the blind. I attracted other men that were like this. I wondered why I had friendships with people that were dysfunctional. I was attracting what I was. And then I remember thinking, how come I had a great relationship with my nan? Because I always treated my nan with respect, because my nan treated me right. So I thought, well, if I can have a good relationship with even one person, surely that can be replicated with other people. And slowly I started to see that. And I was a very jealous person. People may be shocked to know that, but a couple of years ago, I mean, of course, we're human. We all experience jealousy. But the amounts of jealousy I had was uncontrollable. And of course, the women that I was dating, they could sense that I wasn't secure in myself. It didn't matter that I had a worldly following on YouTube and I taught other men. I was teaching other men to be like me, in a sense. So I wasn't living an honest life. I'd convinced myself I was, I rationalised it, but it wasn't honest. And this is, again, if someone else could say, you know, it is honest, but usually the people that said to me at that time, no, you are honest, that was because they were dishonest as well. And of course, for them to acknowledge that I was being dishonest, they would have to acknowledge that they're dishonest, and they didn't want to admit that. But again, I kept realising that I couldn't the only way to get out of this catch-22 was to change myself, was to change how I live my life. And I remember thinking, I don't want to go up and down on the street and be messing around and fucking around, sorry my language, with different women. I want to get a girlfriend. But I'm afraid to admit that. I'm afraid to say that I want to get a girlfriend because I'm worried that other men will judge me. I'm worried that everyone would judge me. But what a silly, pathetic, what a cowardly way to behave. And I always used to say that I hate cowards, I can't stand cowards. That's how I was behaving. So I started to realise everything that I hated in other people was what I hated in myself. And I'd heard this saying floated around many years before that, but it just fell on deaf ears. It went in one ear out the other. Because sometimes I realised we only hear what we want to hear. And sometimes we don't want to hear the truth. Because we don't want to admit that we're cheating. We don't want to admit that we're jealous. We don't want to admit that we're cunning. We don't want to admit that, you know, we're not being nice to people. Because that takes a lot of courage. And that's quite upsetting initially. But I got to a stage where I had no choice. I remember sitting at home, guys, I'm not joking you, or girls, and it was about three years ago before I changed my life around. And I worked with Jeff, and I really worked on really cleaning up. I was at home one day and just sitting there, and I just cried, just bursted into tears and said, I hate my life, I hate being me. And someone else would say, but you're Johnny Berba, you're famous, you teach men all around the world to beat women. It made no difference. I had no integrity, I had no trust in my life. Because I didn't trust my girlfriend. I loved my girlfriend, but I didn't trust her, and I cheated on her. And then I told her, and of course she left me. And rightly so, I deserved it. And I knew what the answer was. It was simple. I didn't need a guru to tell me. But sometimes we do need a guru to tell us, to remind us. We need to see it working for other people. I knew that I had to admit that I wasn't confident. I justified my confidence through getting laid. Then I learned more. I went even further. I learned that in my experience, and I'm talking from a guy who slept with a lot of women, I was sleeping with a lot of women because I was insecure. I always kind of used my brain and thought, well, if a man was so secure, surely he would have a very attractive woman, or he'd have a good relationship. And then I thought to myself, you know, as your mind does, the egoic mind, well, You don't have to have monogamy with a woman. It's okay to be sleeping with 3 women as long as you're honest. Well, that didn't cut it for me, because that wasn't who I was. And it made no difference if other people want to do it, fine. And I was very judgmental as well. I used to hate, that's where a lot of my anxieties derived from. I hated the fact that I thought people, when I go be socialising, I think people are judging me. Paranoia. But that's because I was judging other people. Again, I hated people that judge people, but I was judging people, so I hated everything in people that I hated about myself. So we do attract what we are. Then I remember thinking, well, how am I going to turn my life around? Part of me is thinking, why should I? I've been living like this for so many years. I'm used to having depression. I'm used to being paranoid. I'm used to being a little bit happy back down. I'm used to, you know, and it's not easy to have to say this, but I realised that women never respected me, because the type of women I was attracting didn't respect themselves. Because like I said, I put that out. There's no honour amongst thieves, man or woman. This is not a judgment of women. This is a judgment of myself. I was profound when I started to realise it. And do you know when I really realised it, guys? When I started to become more honest and stop going out and cheating on women, I got 2 of the best relationships I've ever had. With 2 women that were lovely. And I've still got friendships with them. It's nothing sexual anymore. We did have that relationship. And I told them the truth. I told them everything. I told them about my teaching, what I'd been through, my anxieties. They respected it more, of course. When you have these relationships, people, you know, it's not what you think. But you've got to get yourself right. And there was lots of confusing and conflicting beliefs I had. And that cop-out is not good enough no more. That nice guys finish last and bad boys get all the women. If that was the case, I wouldn't be making this video, because you're looking at a nice man, and you're looking at a man that was a bad boy for many years. But it wasn't my true self. It was because I was insecure, and it was because I didn't feel good enough. I grew up feeling that I was never good enough and I had to be tough. But I didn't realise there are different levels of tough. And there are different levels of being nice. You can be nice but still be a strong person. It doesn't mean because you're nice that people are going to walk all over you. People don't walk all over me no more, because I don't walk all over people. People don't disrespect me because I don't disrespect people. I'm sure the occasional person judges me here and there. That's okay. That's just a healthy amount. But I find a lot less people seem to judge me these days because I stopped judging people, or I'm more aware of practicing not to judge people. And of course, I don't have dysfunctional relationships because I trust myself and I like myself and I love myself. And I'm waiting to meet the right woman. But I'm not waiting, sitting on my ass and just saying she's going to jump through the window. I've got choice. And this video is to tell you the same, whether you're a man or a woman. So this is why when men say to me, with your new teaching now, do you not teach men how to meet women? I teach men how to build a relationship themselves. Because when you build a relationship with yourself, money, you attract money. You'll attract money. You'll attract the right people. You'll attract the right woman. And of course, if you're not ready to settle down in a monogamous relationship, that's fully understandable. That doesn't make you dishonest. You tell the women that you're dating, and you can still have a great relationship with a person. You don't have to marry them or have monogamy. I personally choose monogamy because that's where I'm at. So I don't teach people to be like me. And I don't teach people, I don't teach them to be like me. I help them to be their best self. My teaching is about honesty. I'm not fucking around saying honesty, and it's about honesty, honest living. Because it's the most powerful thing. And there are many good women out there. There's too many good women. There are many good men. And this direction has been the hardest one. This took all my strength. The hardest thing a man can ever do is look at himself and his own flaws and go towards and change them. And that's the only thing you need to change, is working on yourself. And that will change everything. Then you won't feel these these outbursts of jealousy towards your friends or people. Because what's to be jealous about when you realise your own potential in yourself? When you value yourself, what is to be jealous about? 24 hours in a day, we all breathe the same air. We only feel jealousy when we feel that we can't achieve what other people can achieve and we're not happy with ourselves. Jealousy and all these kind of negative emotions, and I felt that for years and I don't feel that no more. It's funny how things change when you're happier. All I want to do is help other people. That's why I love teaching. So jealousy comes from a place of being insecure. But guess what? Because I understand how it feels, and I know how it feels to be preached at and told this. I heard all this years ago, I didn't want to hear it. It doesn't matter if you're a jealous person, it doesn't matter if you're angry, it doesn't matter if you did bad things, because you can change it around. I changed it around. I always had a feeling that I can't be forgiven for what I've done. That God won't forgive me, people won't forgive me, because I'm a dirty, horrible person, because I slept with prostitutes, I beat people up, I stole stuff, I cheated, I manipulated, I was a people pleaser, I wasn't honest in my relationships for many years because I was scared. And I thought, how can that be forgiven? How is a woman in her right mind going to date a man like me? But then I realised, that's one of the best teachings from Jesus and all of the gods is forgiveness. And I was proven right, my whole life has changed. But to get forgiveness from other people, you have to forgive yourself. And of course, you likely have to forgive other people. So you can't get away with it. I used to think, well, I want God to forgive me, or I want people to forgive me, but I don't want to forgive the people that I'm angry at. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. That's hypocrisy. That's like me stealing from you and saying, God, I want you to punish this person. Me stealing from you and you stealing from me, or sorry, I've got that wrong, let me start again. That's like me stealing from someone, right? No, sorry, let me start again, I've got it wrong again. That's like someone steals from me, someone steals my money, and I'm angry and I say, God, I want you to punish this person, or whoever I say it to. And then that person gets punished. And then the next day I go and steal. And then I get punished and I get angry at God and say, why are you punishing me for? Why is this happening? Because I did the same thing. So you can't treat people bad and then wonder why you're getting treated bad. And that's what a lot of men do. They're not being honest. They're being jealous and angry. They're not living straight in their life. They're fucking around behind the scenes. And then wondering why you're not getting this back. You have to make the changes in yourself to even expect to get a woman with that quality. If you want a quality woman, you've got to be a quality man. A common thing I'll get from a lot of other people, they'll say, I struggle to find a job. Same explanation. I know it's not easy. These things are not easy. But becoming successful, achieving happiness, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And to some extent it is easy, but people make it hard. So I wanted this really bad. I wanted it so bad, that's why I worked with Jeff for 2 years. That's how dedicated I was. I invested my money, I invested my time, because there was no more excuses. And this is what I teach on my 6 weeks program. I help men and I help women with their social confidence in their relationships, their relationship with themselves. So I work with people with relationship themselves. And of course, common sense tells you, I've said it before, it's not a question of do you meet a woman on the street, or if you're a woman, do you meet a man on the street, or do you meet her in the grocery store, or do you meet her at work? It makes no difference to the environment, to some extent. It matters about your self-esteem and confidence, and being honest. And not just saying you're being honest, but you're not being honest. It's not good enough to walk up to her on the street and to tell her an honest line, to say, oh, I think you're nice, but then going back into your life, not be honest with your family, judge your friends behind their back, watch pornography, these are things I did, pay prostitutes for sex, and then think, oh, I can just rationalise that and come back into my life, and then think, why is life throwing rubbish at me, and why am I not getting what I want? Because you have to be a clean living person. Now, of course, if you don't want to be a clean living person, you continue what you're doing. And this is the lesson that I learned. And then we start feeling love in ourselves. Then we start feeling love in ourselves. Until you experience it, you can't understand it. And then we're so confident we don't need to steal. That's really what I wanted to say. We're so confident we don't need to be jealous no more. or we can get much better at keep reducing our jealousy. We're so confident we don't need to cheat on women anymore. Cheating on anyone comes from a place of low self-esteem. That has been a fact for me. And that was heavily rationalised by me having lots of women and having the perception I'm successful. You really got to question what success is. For one person, success could be having sex with 5 women. For another man, that could be being unsuccessful. For me now, that's unsuccessful. If I've got to have sex with 5 women, that means I've got no self-control, that means I've got no self-respect. And I've got to ask myself, why do I need to have sex with 5 women when I'd rather have a relationship with 1 woman that I love and get on really well with? Why not have friendships? Different mentality. This is what most women want, if not all, and women. Same, this goes for women, this message. Because women struggle with the same thing. This is not a male problem, this is a people's problem. And I learned that people are good. You can trust people. You can trust women, you can trust men. But you have to have that relationship with you. Otherwise, you'll always attract people that are going to be on the same wavelength you are. This is fact, this is science. This is not even questionable. This is science, this is religion, this is spirituality, and you know this to be true, and I knew it to be true. But doing it and saying it is 2 different things. And that's why I help people over 6 weeks to achieve this relationship with themselves. And it's incredible, it's amazing. And only the strong man will do this. There's nothing soft about it. Don't worry about, is it too soft, love, spirituality or honesty. There's nothing soft about having self-control. Because I know how much courage and how many things I had to face to get here. And I used to be a man that had, that laughed about things like this, but deep down I wanted it. Because all men want to open up their hearts. That's what they want, that's what I did. I had to open up my heart because it was closed for years. And if you're dishonest, it will close your heart up. So it's not just talking honesty, it's living honesty. Otherwise, don't expect happiness, don't expect consistency in life, you're not going to get it. And if you're in this sort of negative space, if you encounter people that are honest, they will see straight through it, and that's what happened to me, and I'm glad I went through it. But the great thing is, as I've said, you can be forgiven. Because I wouldn't have the audacity to sit here, do YouTube videos, and to be talking to people like this, because I was in that predicament and I changed it around. And since I've been living like this now for the best part of over 2 years, my life has transformed. My relationships has gone to another level. I don't have to cheat anyone, and I don't cheat anyone at all. I won't cheat. That's not my nature, that's not my true self. It's the complete opposite. It's wanting to be kind and help people. So this is a message I wanted to put out from my life experience, and hopefully it's going to help anyone watching, man or woman. And this is everything. This is the relationship with money, with people, with success. And it's brilliant once you do it. Once you've experienced this and you start seeing the results you get, and you gradually move into it, you won't want to go back to being dishonest. Enjoy the process. And if you want to get more information about my teaching, my coaching, and read my articles, go to my website, www.johnnyberba.com. I love you guys and girls. Thanks for following me. I'll see you soon. Bye.